So this is the recording for my Tarot 101 series. And this video is just going to be me explaining what I mean by Tarot 101. Because it's not necessarily a tarot beginner course or anything like that. I'm not necessarily in the realm of thinking that I don't even have the capacity to be even teaching people tarot. I'm still learning tarot myself. But what this is more so about is gaining a deep fundamental understanding of the different elements that go into each card, the importance of symbolism, what symbolism even is in the first place, and how that plays a role in our personal, spiritual, and emotional development. It's mostly talking about my own personal understanding of tarot, how I work with tarot as a reader and as someone who will be reading for people, who does read for people, and just basically breaking it down. It's more so about, for me, taking the opportunity of creating my own notes and using that as a chance to share that with other people. This is gonna be my notes. They're gonna change over time. Different meanings are gonna come, different symbols are gonna mean different things to different people. And you're gonna look online, even if you just Google the readings for specific cards, you're gonna get different explanations. There's similar themes, but there's different things that people notice and different things that stand out to specific people. So basically, I'm gonna start by explaining what the posts are gonna look like. So the post is gonna be basically the image of a card. Got my notes here, by the way. The image of the card. I'll put a picture here, most likely. So the image of the card. Then on the right, you have an explanation of the imagery in the card. You have the image of the card, and then on the right, you have an explanation of the imagery in the card. And the imagery basically goes into details of different aspects of that specific card. So you'll notice different colors, which we'll talk about, expressions on the faces of the characters in the card. You'll notice the background, so I'll talk about the background a little bit there. And just the details that seem like they stand out to me in the card specifically. Underneath that, you'll have understanding, which is basically the meaning of the card. It's basically a translation. So it's more like, so you kind of think of it like if it resonates for you. So this is where you would see where the card kind of, if it resonates for you, you would start to like pay attention to like what you're feeling from this card, what understanding this card gives you of whatever aspect of your life it's shining a light on, whatever aspect of your unconscious is shining a light on. In this, I'll also include prayers, which prayers are kind of, in the sense of me, is what talking about hopes and wishes, advices, and just basically me imbuing that section with just good energy and that hopes for that thing, for whatever that thing you're experiencing, to be seen and felt fully to its completion so it can pass through you. I always think of tarot as a tool for seeing yourself more deeply. It kind of works to connect to different parts of our minds, and not our mind even. I would say our mind is one part of aspect it can help you connect with deeper, but it's more so important to help you connect with, I guess, your soul, I'd say, or spirit, whatever you want to call it. But the most truest part of yourself, the part that is unchanging, that is basically the observer, that doesn't move, doesn't change, it's just constant within you, so that you can deeper get a better lens of all the aspects that make up you in the proverbial sense, and see into what needs to be experienced, felt, seen, so it can be let go of. Basically, by seeing and experiencing those things, we're able to integrate them and basically take back in the energy of whatever we've been ignoring or pushing to the side. That's like the whole idea of the shadow. and by taking back that energy that we are putting into most likely ignoring that thing, or not feeling into, or not paying attention, or not doing this urge that you have inside of you, or not following through with this urge that you have inside of you, we're able to have more energy to reach our goals, do the things that our soul absolutely desires for us, and like fulfill our own desires in a sense. It's a tool for growth, and I think this also ties into my name, Tarot of the Unseen. It's the whole point. I want to use tarot as a tool to see these different aspects of ourselves and bring them into alignment, but also as a whole, to allow yourself as a whole to be seen by someone in a reading, which is home. That's what I do. Like, and this is also a part of the thing we see with Western practices of talk therapy and stuff like that, where you spend time working with the person, bringing up different parts of themselves, perhaps talking through them, and allowing them a space to feel seen without judgment, from an open, heart-centered, loving dialogue. As a reader, my goal is to sit with you in presence, and give you the chance to feel through, see, or experience whatever it is you need to experience for you to move into what's next for you. The third and final part is advice. It's basically ways to move forward, any acknowledgements that or ways we can integrate this energy or make peace with it. So any affirmations or saying that could help us at this point. Or just an overall sense of a quote that you can say to yourself and repeat to yourself that will help you move through this energy. Because I know sometimes when we feel things, it can be so difficult to continuously meet whatever that feeling is with a continued sense of grace and love and understanding, when oftentimes it feels deeply and profoundly uncomfortable. So the point of, I think, this section, it would be to give you something you can hold on to a little bit, so you can say, okay, in this moment, I know this will pass. So I will repeat that to myself. I'll take a deep breath and feel it as much as I can, and then let it go. Even if that's not a lot, even if you feel like you're so uncomfortable that you're more likely to you're avoiding a part of it, you've done the portion that you can. I think we want to be interested in understanding that you can't really do any wrong. That everything is perfection from a spiritual lens. You have to recognize that all you can do is what you've done. Given every single thing that's happened since the beginning of existence, what else would happen? So it's in a sense of understanding the fact that you're doing exactly what you need to do, especially if you're trying. And if you're here, you're most likely trying to enter a state of healing, into a state of peace for yourself, and you've recognized whatever agreements or the dream that you've created for yourself isn't working. There's something in misalignment, and something is letting you to want more for yourself and want to seek deeper. So yeah, the point of this whole thing is to deepen my study, it's work with show others and share my learning, and offer guidance to the part myself that I've already explored, so other people can reach fulfillment for themselves in those areas. It's like we all experience different things, and I think when we start to think of the spiritual path as something linear, we really disadvantage ourselves. It's not. It's literally not ever like that. You're so huge. Like, you have no idea how big you are. When you take the opportunity to actually sit with yourself and feel and actually observe all the many parts of yourself, you realize this is insane. Like, you're an entire universe. So for me to say that I'm more grown or I've been more spiritually developed than anybody else is not how it was any truth to that. And I feel like even me saying that would be doing the opposite of what I'm trying to do, because I'll be reading into my ego by trying to measure something that's completely unlinear and something linear, and trying to put it into a frame of something that's digestible for my mind and my reason. I would just be feeding into my ego. So when I experience these things and I've moved through them and I've healed through them, I'm sharing that not as a point to brag, not as a point to say that I'm better than anybody, but from love, like the pure recognition that all of this on the human level, so temporary. And if I don't share my message, my love, what I'm here, or not doing what I'm here for, then what the fuck is the point? Like, what actually is the point of any of it? That's actually what really matters. And the final thing before we get into, I post everything and you start to see all of this content, is a lot. I think this came through while I was writing my notes. And it feels like, to me, I think it's important to recognize from a spiritual standpoint that it's important for us to recognize that we are so loved, that we are literally love embodied. So when I say this like truly, you couldn't even begin to understand the capacity to which I love you. It's actually the truth. Because this isn't romantic love or familial love or any of the love on the human level. It's love for existence. We're all literally just life. And without life, we would be just a body. And that truth is what connects us all to each other. And the energy is more important than anything else. So if you read this stuff and you gain anything from it, you have my gratitude, like my sincere gratitude for participating with my work, for connecting with me, and connecting with yourself, because that's the point of any of this. So I hope you guys enjoy this new series. I have no timeline for when I'm going to be posting this stuff. My first one's done, so by the time I post this, you'll see the first post and you'll see the first video talking about the specific card. But after that, it's just going to be by my own like mood and energy, you know. Like, it's, for me, it's my art. So it's like, it comes when it comes. And I'm starting school again, so not in school. It's definitely a balancing game, but it's important to me, so it's important for me to continue doing this. So most likely you'll see one once a month. It'll take me a while to go through the entirety of the Rider Waite Tarot deck, which is what we're doing. We're doing the Rider Waite Tarot deck, but I think it's 10,000% worth it because I love symbols. Symbols get me geeked. That's what I be doing. And this is just like a fun project to help me to just dedicate myself to like just taking my time to make notes, develop an understanding of the cards, and also helps me develop myself as a reader. Because sometimes I find with tarot that usually you'll continuously have cards that will come up for you, or cards that you have an understanding of. So I tend to work into that. But there's definitely cards where I'm like, oh, I've really never seen that card before. I don't know what that means. And for me, I'm like, well, I'm doing a reading. What the fuck am I saying right now? I don't even know what that means. And everyone I read for has an understanding of the fact that I'm still learning. So they have that like level of like patience and understanding with me. I hope, at least. But it doesn't necessarily mean I want to be showing up in a space where I'm supposed to be working as a healer, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. And maybe and like I'm saying, those opportunities of not knowing what I'm doing is what brought me here. So it's not a bad thing. I'm making this series because I want to understand more. I want to learn more. I want to learn more about myself most of all, because each time I connect with these cards, and I will talk about my own personal connection to these cards when I talk about each individual video, it just feels like I can see more of myself. I can see more of why who created this deck chose these symbols. And then I can start to like look at cards deeper. And through that practice, you know how they say how you do anything is how you do everything. I'm able to bring that energy to myself and to my life, and to look on a wider lens, on a wider lens and on a more focused lens onto myself, my psyche, and the people around me. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this. I don't know when this is gonna be completed. We'll see. And if I never complete it, then, but I'm hoping to complete it because I do want to get to the major arcana, and that'd be very exciting. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it so much. I'm so excited to be making this, and I'm so excited to be getting a chance to be creative and share my special interests.